Hello people, welcome back to my channel. Warning, rant alert. Let me just warm up. Rant alert. So, there's a few things in the news I want to talk about, but before we talk about that, I want to talk about. I'm actually on my lunch break at work at the minute. This is how much it pissed me off. Right, so we're going to talk about vanlife UK, and a guy from my area posted a car park that I use, and is only literally a mile down this road here from where I work. Someone had parked in very inappropriately. I'll show you this picture. Very inappropriately in the car park, and he put it on Vanlife UK, and he literally just got raped by everybody, which ain't fair at all. I think some of these people should really be ashamed of themselves, I'll be honest. Some of the stuff that they say, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't say it to his face. They've done, I would say 90% of them don't even know the car park, so they can't really even comment to start with. This guy wouldn't just put this on for no reason, so there's obviously a problem with how the guy's parked. I will take you to the car park later and I'll show you where you were parked. If it might still be there. You can actually park that big motorhome in a decent place in that car park. There was no need to park how we did. This is the problem. This is what's going to get height barriers put in. If people like this who just don't give us flying shit, it's gonna mess it up for everyone. Because that is a decent car park, and the guys, I drive past this car park every day to come here to work, and it's always clean. They park accordingly, and the guys alternate. They don't stop in one place. I've not actually met any of the guys. I talked to him on Facebook. I added him as a friend, and he's a nice fella. They keep the place tidy, and they alternate, and they don't stop in one place for a long time. There's another guy I've noticed down there who he might spend a couple of days and he moves on, and I've seen him somewhere else as well. So they're not living there. So for people who are getting angry with him and saying that they're living there, they're not living there. They just like it if people in other vans would park accordingly, which we should do. So yeah, some of these people on this Vanlife UK, you seriously need to sort yourselves out, because that is just ridiculous what you've put. Let me just find. I've corrected a few people on it, because it's. Me and my friend have always said this. We've always said, you don't know what people are going through, so always be nice. This guy who's posted this could be going through. I mean, he did actually put on saying that he didn't want to be a van lifer, but he's ended up embracing the life. Oh. So what I'm saying is, this guy could potentially be going through health problems. It could be going through work problems. It could be going through marriage problems. It could be going through anything. And all he's doing is just highlighting the fact that, come on guys, you need to park properly. Which we all know this. And he's took a lot of shit for that. That could be potentially... You know what I'm trying to get at. It potentially could... Well, I wouldn't like it anyway. It could tip someone over the edge, what I'm trying to say. Especially someone, you know, I'm not saying... I might be wrong, you might be fine, whatever. But, yeah, you don't need a lot of shit on Facebook just for posts. I mean, if you post something absolutely ridiculous, then whatever, fair play. But it won't. It will actually valid. I'll write. I'll put post on here. I'll not put his name, but I'll read out what he put. And he put, been in my van a few months now. I never wanted to be a man who lives in a van, but it happened and I'm embracing it. There is about 4 of us who use 4 of us who park up in this car park, we are quiet, clean, we don't cause trouble for other car park users and only use one spot. But this turned up the other day, clearly enjoying their vehicle but taking up more than one space. And well, to be honest, I personally think it's people like this who will get height restrictions and will not, and what not on car parks. No, I'm not being a Karen or anything, but this is the sort of thing that has all locals talking, and we don't like it when locals talk. 100%, he's 100% right. I can't fault the man. He's right. Here. And some comments are just stupid. They're just people just being dicks on purpose, and it's not needed at all. Saying there's no lines so he can park wherever he wants. The person who said that, you've probably never been to that car park. You don't realise there's a giant space. I'll take you to car park. There's a giant space at the back where he could have parked. So some people's probably seen it. Yeah. So that's that anyway. And there was no need to give him shit. And like I said, I bet a lot of these people wouldn't even say it to his face. Now, sorry about that. I need to make a cup of tea now after all that energy released. So to my right is where that van were parked. You can see the size of this car park. That there was plenty of room for him to park on this side accordingly. He could have parked right at the other end. And he also could have parked basically where that crafter's parked and just took up this end. But no. Right in the middle of there. So I've just been talking to 2 people who were walking a dog, told them about it. They'd not noticed it because I don't use car park that often. But I said to them about people living in car park, but they're not stopping here constantly all the time. And they said as long as people clean the mess up and don't make a scene, it's fine. And that's what I say. If they clean the mess up and nice and tidy, not a problem. Now, the van lifers that use this car park, you look at this car park, there's no rubbish anywhere. None. Only bit of rubbish is next to the bin. Well, that could be anyone's rubbish. And it's in bags as well, so it's not scattered everywhere. So while I were in car park, I didn't video none of this because I value people's privacy. Unless they wanted to be videoed, of course. 2 people came over with a dog. And I told them about what had happened in car park. And they said, oh right, because we didn't notice because we don't really use this car park that much. But basically what they said was, I might have already said this earlier. What they said was, as long as people clean the stuff up, they're not bothered. And to be honest, I think most people are like that. The van that was there, the crafter, I gave him a knock. And there were a guy in it, call him Russ. Absolutely fantastic man, honestly. He were a right laugh. Been living in his van since January. And he says he alternates. Him and the other guys go from place to place and then they go to that one. They tidy up. He told me he tied his car park up after boy races have been in. He says now they've been there, the boy races don't tend to come because they're there, which is good because then it stops them doing wheel spins and stuff and donuts or whatever they like to do and drop the rubbish everywhere. He told me he'd seen people in cars with dogs He's because his van's very stealth. There's no windows in it. He's seen people let the dogs out, and the dogs have just shit everywhere, and then they've just got in the car and drove off. So should we ban dog walkers while we're on this subject? You know, that's irresponsible. The guy, in all fairness, the guy who was in that big van, he says when he pulled in, there wasn't a lot of room. And I said, he could have moved it. Later on, went car park, quieting down. And he did say, yeah, he could have moved it, but he didn't. But as you can see from that car park, it's quite big enough to have a vehicle like that in it and not cause any parking issues. It's alright him tootling off to wherever he's gone next, but the guys who use the car park, and other people, there might be disabled people with vans that have to go in and what have you, if a height barrier gets put in, then they can't get in, can they? I don't know who owns the car park. I'm going to find that out. But other than that, I've said to him, when my girlfriend's on nights, when Cat's on nights, I'm going to go and have a week with him in car park, I think, because they sound like a right bunch of lads. And so, yeah. The thing is, before I end video, what I just want to add is, if people keep doing this stupid parking and emptying chemical toilets out and whatever else, all you're doing is adding fuel. You're giving the councils, you're giving the government fuel, you're giving them fuel to use against you. If you haven't got anything to give them, then they've got nothing to go on. I asked Russ if police had been out to him. He says they came once. He says they looked at us. He says we were just having a few beers. He says they drove round and they went, and that were it. He says that's all they did. He says, I says if they had a problem, they'd have said something to you, wouldn't they? He went, yeah, they would have done. They should have done. He says, but they didn't, because they're not bothered. Because they're not causing a mess. They're not causing problems. They're just living their lives how they want to live their life. And I can't see a problem. If they're not causing a mess, they're not causing drama, leave them alone. Oh yeah, I'll wrap this video on before I start babbling on about crap. But yeah, check out other people's videos as well about this subject, because the more you learn about it, if you don't already know about it, the more you'll understand. So, right, I'm going. See you later.